Basically, how internet works is right. So whenever you want to read the news, so old days, like few of the old people even today, what they do after waking up, they'll have a like they'll just take a cup of coffee, sit in the lobby, and then keep turning the pages of a newspaper, right? So basically, what it happens is they'll first see the newspaper, they'll see a first page, front page, which is right. So you can just call it as home page. So where you will see beautiful ads. So 90% ads and 10% news. Home page. So once they just beautifully enjoy the home page, what they will do, they will turn the page over and go to page two. So like whenever you see your elder people, they'll just open up the newspaper and they'll see the home page. So once they finish with the home page, they'll go to the next page, and next page. But when we were kids, we usually used to just check the last page because all cricket news and all the news about sports would be in the last page, right? So this is actually a news which you read physically, right? So this is same is true with today's applications world. So basically, what happens, instead of actually buying a newspaper for each home, what how would it look like if we keep this newspaper in a library and read it, right? So if you see a library, right, so many people will be reading it instead of one person reading it. So that will actually add more value to the newspaper, right? So, but today, if you see, the libraries are very, very rare. You can't see a library around, right? Even if you see a library around, it might not be funded pretty well, and you don't see even the two, three flavors of newspaper there, right? Uh, so now that we have this beautiful thing called internet, so why can't we actually put all this news into internet? That's the second question which we need to answer. It will be very nice if you can have a library, right? If you can just have a library wherein which all the visitors will come and just Mr. 1, Mr. 2, Mr. 3, Mr. 4, right? So they can come and like, so I'll call them as clients. Clients. So you see so many people visiting the library, right? So instead of making it a library, we make it as a digital library, wherein which we don't have the physical paper, but whatever content we see is a digital content. To host a digital content, we call that library as something called a server. So basically, in the server, you'll find all the newspapers of different companies, different news reading companies. So news channels, I could say. So every client can actually visit and read the newspaper, right? So client will go to the first page, read it, and then like he turn the page over, and he can actually read the second page, right? So here we have established an architecture called as client server architecture. So whenever client requests for a page, that page comes up and loads on the screen. So for digital library, one good thing is you don't need to go anywhere, right? So it is in at your fingertips. You can actually access this server library on your mobile itself, on your laptop itself, right? So basically, you don't need to go anywhere. That much beautiful it is, right? So now we will understand how can we actually develop something called as digital library, which you can host it on the server. Did you understand the point? So, so you want to host a newspaper, like for example, Deccan Herald. Have Deccan Herald. You have Indian Express. You have like something like some weekly newspapers, whatever newspapers. One good thing is, right, so you don't need multiple servers to host multiple newspapers. You can host it in the same server. One more beauty, what we can do is we can actually make it more interactive with the help of Python, right? To make your newspapers look good, we need something called as HTML. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. So what does it say? So it makes your text hypertext. So it actually elevates your text. So with the help of all your beautiful decorations, styles, and sheets, so it will actually make your hypertext. It's a language which you actually develop it. It's not a programming language or a scripting language. It's a markup language. So you just need to mark up something. It will actually beautifully display it on your web page. So let us see how can we create a web page with the help of HTML language. I'll go to my folder into the D drive. I'll create a folder. So I'll name it as my first web page website. So a collection of web pages is called as website. So I'll just name it as my first website. So I'll go to Notepad, I'll go to new and create a new text file, name it as home dot txt. I'll rename it as HTML. So if you are not getting this particular extension editing option, so sometimes you just see home, right? You have to go to view and you have to just check this file name extensions checkbox. If you check this, it will be able to change it. So what I will do is I'll just go ahead and open it in a notepad. Open with, just choose another app, notepad. Okay. So our HTML is all about tags. So basically, tag is something which is open, which is actually inside the Angular braces. So something like this is a tag. So each opening tag in HTML will have a corresponding closing tag. So closing tag will have extra slash in the back here, like this, like this, right? So actually, all HTML pages will follow a particular structure. So open HTML tag, close HTML tag. So each HTML tag, how you have head and body, so they will also have something called as head and body. So I'll just open and close the head and I'll just open and close the body. So it would be great if you can do it along with me. So this can just open up your notepad, start writing. Later you can save it even. So you can just directly open notepad, new file, start coding this. So inside the head, I will just add one more tag called as title tag. So opening and closing the title tag. So see, whatever the data you want to produce, you can actually provide it in between your opening and closing tag. So I'll just change it to home. Okay, so I'll save this file. I'll open this file in any of the browsers, Chrome or Safari or any of the browsers. So you see this, right? So you see this home here. I'll go ahead and change this home to something else. It's not your home, it's my home, right? I'll just change it to my home. So you see that reflecting here. You can just refresh your page. So, and one more thing you should observe here is, so it will actually show you the path of the file where it is shown, file where it is saved. So it is in D drive, my first website. So like whenever you find spaces in your URL, it will be replaced with %20. Any special symbols will be replaced with the Unicode characters. So you don't need to worry about it. So it shows your home.html. Right. So now you understood how can you actually write a small web page. So here in the body, I will say hello to the new web world. Okay, I'll just save it and run it. So see it here. So this makes your new beautiful website. So you can actually have any type of text here. So for example, I'll add a paragraph. Paragraphs are added with the help of p tags. Each opening tag must have a closing tag. So here it will say, I will conquer This web world here. So if you want to make this particular hello to the new web world has an heading, you can cover it up with H1 tag. So H1 to H5 you will find headings of different sizes. So I'll get this tag. So actually I should close it. If I close it, so it will only be referring to here. Basically what you could do is you can directly go here, search notepad application, file and save it as some file, preferably on the desktop. So just name it as my first web page dot html. So this is very important. That this is whatever follows after the dot is called as an extension. So the extension of the file should be dot html. So save it and open it. That should make it work. Okay, that is one way. Another way is just going into the new and creating the here, which is in Angular braces is called as tag. A keyword with the opening Angular brace and closing Angular brace is called as tag. So whatever you see inside this tag is called as content of that particular HTML tag. So including opening tag, closing tag, the content which you see inside it is called as collectively called as HTML element. So in addition to HTML tags and elements, you can even have a attribute for one particular HTML tag. For example, body, right? So how should body be attributed? For example, Indians. How are Indians attributed? They are tall, brownish white in color, right? So if you go to West Indies, right? West Indies people are brown, sturdy, and like well-built kind of attributes you see. But so like that, if you want to attribute a body tag, you can do that. So, for example, if I want to add background color, as for example, it is PG color. I'll go refresh the screen. You see a PG color, right? So similar to this, you can even add a background. So it is in D drive, right? So I go to D drive, my website. So what I will do, I will download an image to here. So for example, any image, I will just download. So I'll just download a background image with just kind of this particular abstract. So I'll just save this image on the Google. I'll save it where my website is there. This is very important step, guys. So it's in my first website. I just D drive first website. I'll save it here. I'll just name it as background. So the naming is also important. Background. Okay, that JPG or that PNG is fine. So what I will do, I'll just go ahead here. I'll remove the BG color tag. I'll change it to background. Background is equal to this particular file. So what is the file name? Background. Extension is also important here. Background.jpg. That's what you see, right? You go to Chrome. The file. Background.jpg, right? So that's the same file name I'll give. Save this file. Open it again. You see the beautiful background on here. So now let us see how can we actually attribute this particular text. So if I want this particular text to be in bold, I'll just use a B tag and just cover it up with a B tag. So usually headings will be bold, right? For example, Conquer, I want to bold it. So I use B tag for your Conquer. So if I want to italic the world, right? So I'll just use a I tag. So basically, it's all about nesting your tags properly. So otherwise, you'll mess up yourself. So I'll just open up my website again. So you see Conquer is bolded and world is italicized, right? So This is how you actually bold and italic your text. So what I will do is I'll just go ahead and add some more text to it. So my college is very near, uh, very good. I love the environment. I miss college due to this pandemic. So if I just save this right and refresh this particular page, I see everything is in one line. Because so for HTML, right? So even if you add it in a new lines, it won't understand. So if you want to make it to understand the formatting, right? You should use one more tag called as pre-tag. So it actually says that preserve formatting. So I'll just put it across with pre-tag, pre tag. So it will actually preserve the formatting. If I refresh it, it will add a preservation. Okay, it will preserve the formatting. So there is one more way to get it without fill tag. If you want to add a new line to it, right? You can even use a break tag, BR tag. So or so this actually doesn't have opening and closing brace. So it closes itself here in inside itself actually. So these are called as inline tags. These tags come inline and go inline. They doesn't have a opening and closing tag. So if I just refresh